Checkity, check, check, check. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. My name's Michael. This is Overland Bound. We are a worldwide community of adventure travelers. What do? We go off grid. We practice social isolation by default, and we plan. Now, that is more applicable than everybody for anybody who's planning a road trip, and that's what we're talking about today. It is an institution. It is a tradition, the summer road trip. What are some of the things that you can do to stay self-contained on your road trip and keep your friends and family safe while you travel? That's what we're going to go through today. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description for the CDC website because a lot of this revolves around just staying sanitary, and that's where you need to go for that information. I want you to do your own research. But we're going to take some of the lessons learned from vehicle-dependent travelers, adventure travelers, and see how it might apply to you, and maybe you can apply it to your road trip and stay safe. Now, we believe that adventure is necessary, and that's why we travel off the grid. Now, let me ask you something. Are you thinking about flying right now? No, you're not thinking about flying because nobody's thinking about flying, but you might take a road trip, right? So it's one of the vacations that's been least affected by this COVID craziness that we've been facing over the last few months, because you know the people you're traveling with, and you can go camping and go to places where you can self-isolate. And so it might be a valid option for you this summer to take your vacation. Let's go through some steps. Now, just so you guys know, I got my cheat sheet right here, and I've been doing a video a day to give content to folks who have been self-isolating. So what that means is that these are one-take wonders. So I don't know exactly what you're going to see, but I'm not going to stop rolling until we get through this list, and I hope it's helpful. All right, so first of all, before this vehicle goes out of this driveway, most of the time before this vehicle goes out of the driveway, I do a visual inspection. Your vehicle for your road trip has to be reliable now more than ever, and here's why. So I look at the hoses, I check the belts, I look under for leaking fluid, I check the brakes, I do a complete inspection, and I have a video on that. You can go through our channel. I do a complete inspection. Now, that service station, to the destination you're going to, it might not be open anymore, unfortunately. And services in general are not as available as they once were. So you may not be able to get the help. And even if you do get the help, then you're increasing the unknowns. You don't know where all the people who are helping you have been or how sanitary they've been. And you want to reduce those unknowns as much as possible on your road trip. Now, before you leave, baseline your vehicle. What does that mean? There is a concept of clean versus dirty that you need to adopt when you go on a road trip. Clean versus dirty. The inside of this vehicle is either clean or it's dirty. It's not kind of clean or kind of dirty. And you need to maintain it that way. So disinfect the inside of your vehicle and demand that everybody using the vehicle keep the inside of the vehicle clean. We're going to go through some steps on how you do that. First of all, you guys are going to take your masks and your gloves with you when you travel, and you're going to use them when you do things like pump gas. You're going to get out of the vehicle and pump gas and go into the store as little as possible. And that's where this adventure travel, the rack, the things, taking all your gear with you, your food and all that comes in real handy. You are self-sufficient. Now, I'm not advocating you do that. You're just taking a road trip. You don't need to drive a vehicle like this, but I want you to work up to a vehicle like this. But these lessons still apply. You're going to go into stores and things of that nature as little as possible. Now, let's talk about the gas station. You're going to need to stop for gas. You're going to take those gloves. You're going to take that mask. When you're pumping your gas, you're going to pump your gas first with your gloves on. Overland Bound has a fantastic trauma surgeon, medical advisor to us. His name is Chris. He's a really close friend of ours. And he went through the steps on how to properly take your gloves on, your gloves off, and put them on. Make sure you're doing it right. I'm not going to go through that detail right now, but do your own research. Make sure that you're taking your gloves off and on right so that you stay clean. At this gas station, you're going to do your bathroom run last. Because that's when you're going to go in and you're going to wash your hands up to your elbows for 30 seconds, and then you're not going to touch anything. When you come back out to the vehicle, your gloves are already going to be thrown away, your hands are going to be washed, you're going to get in the vehicle, the inside of the vehicle is still clean. Okay? All right, now the other thing, let's talk about rest stops. Now, rest stops aren't necessarily going to have everything that you need in order to stay clean. So you want to create a clean kit, did I say restaurant or restroom? Rest stop. Rest stop kit. And in that kit, you're going to have more gloves, you're going to have more masks, you're going to have hand sanitizer, you're going to have soap, and you're going to have seat protectors. That's the PC PG way to say it. Seat protectors. And make sure you have everything you need when you go to a rest stop to stay clean. Again, staying clean. Batteries. Batteries and chargers, have plenty. That's another reason why you got to stop at the store. Make sure you can charge things. And your communications devices are usually battery powered. So you want to have plenty of batteries so you don't have to stop and get batteries for the things that you need. Take a cooler. You don't have to go as crazy as we do and have all the food for 14 days in your vehicle. But if you have a cooler that has high protein snacks and it has cold water in it, then here comes the airplanes again. Start shooting a video, especially when it's one take. Airplanes, neighborhood, garbage trucks. If you pack a cooler, you'll be able to go longer without having to stop for snacks and things of that nature. So pack a cooler with you. All right, now list, did I cover it? Boom, boom, boom. Plan. Plan like it is the 1970s. Don't depend on websites to give you up-to-date information about where it is that you are going. You want to call, you want to talk to people and find out. You want to know what kind of safety procedures and protocols a hotel is using. You want to know that they're open, so call, use your phone. Also, use the CDC website to make sure you're not going into a hot spot. Don't do that. Just don't do it. There's no reason to. So find out. Look at the CDC website. Find out that know that the place you're going to is not a hot spot. And also understand the self-isolation policy of the location you're driving to. In the state of California, it is different from state to state. No, it is different from state to state, and in the state of California, it's different from county to county. So you have to know the policies where you're going. Now, let me tell you, those are some benefits. Stay clean, stay safe, understand where you're traveling to, make sure your vehicle is reliable, have as much stuff as you possibly can to be self-reliant and not have to make those stops. That's where your headspace needs to be. And your headspace needs to be, is it dirty, is it clean? And you want to keep it clean. Now, let me tell you real quick before I sign off here, what my road trip is going to look like. I know that this vehicle can travel X number of distance, not very long. The place I'm going to, I will require one gas stop, and then I'm going to be off the grid. Let me ask you this. If your road trip includes a hotel, how are you going to feel? If you are off the grid with your sleeping pad and your sleeping bag, nobody else around, and your tent, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel relaxed. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit one gas station. I'm going to go off grid. I'm going to camp. I may stay there a few days, and I'm going to drive all the way home. I have reduced the number of contact points to one stop. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to have a blast. That's what I want you guys to do as well. I want you to be safe out there. I want you to have that summer road trip. I want you to have a blast and stay safe. All right, you guys, I hope that was useful. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, adventure is necessary. Outfit, explore. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow.